I know, but I can't light both. "17 seconds. Good morning, Sarasota, UUs. Please rise and by the and/or spirit for our opening hymn, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I make my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dreams and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love.
Welcome. My name is Klaus Obermeid. I am chair of our worship committee. We want to extend a warm welcome to our visitors both on campus and over live stream. We invite you to participate in any of our events, and we invite you to find out more about our congregation and about Unitarian Universalism through our website at uusrq.org. It contains links to let you sign up for our e-newsletter, the UU Weekly News. If you're in person, you can sign up to receive the newsletter at the welcome table right outside. If you do, we will send you our weekly newsletter and Zoom links to our virtual events. We invite you to join us for coffee and conversation after the service. We look forward to getting to know each other. And today is our monthly potluck Sunday. We encourage you to stay and join us for that. There have been 2 changes to our order of service since it went to press. Reverend Jay has invited me to help him with 2 readings, and our guest musician was unable to come, so Melvin Jackson of the Sarasota Orchestra is filling in for him. We love our musicians. Melvin will be performing 3 numbers by Reinhold Gliere, a Ukrainian composer whose parents were German and Polish. Melvin? Thank you, Melvin. Consider the words of Father Michael Moynihan, S.J. Doubt and faith, let them grow together. Denial and commitment, let them grow together. Virtue and vice, let them grow together. Contemplation and action, let them grow together. Giving and receiving, let them grow together. The helpful and the helpless, let them grow together. Wisdom of the East and West, let them grow together. All contrarieties of the universe, let them grow together.
Good morning. I'm Reverend J. Wolin, and I just want to note, as we light our chalice today, I'm also going to light, since tonight is the first night of Hanukkah, I will only be lighting the center light in recognition of that. It's called the Shamash candle, the helper candle. And so that we should all be helpers to each other. And so please now join me in affirming our value of pluralism, which is on the screen above you, as well as in your order of service.
We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect.
Today's story is Duck Rabbit, written by Amy Krauss Rosenthal and Tom Lichtenheld. Got it up there. Good. Hey, look, a duck.
That's not a duck. That's a rabbit.
Are you kidding me? That's totally a duck.
It's for sure a rabbit.
See, there's his bill.
What are you talking about? Those are ears, silly.
It's a duck. He's about to eat a piece of bread.
It's a rabbit. He's about to eat a piece of a carrot.
Wait, listen. Did you hear that? I heard duck sounds. Quack, 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 quack.
That's funny. I distinctly heard rabbit sounds.
Now the duck is wading through the swamp.
Now the rabbit is hiding in the grass.
There, see, he's flying.
No, he's hopping.
Oh my goodness. Look, the duck is so hot, he's getting a drink.
The rabbit is so hot, he's cooling off his ears.
Here, look at the duck through my binoculars.
No, sorry, still a rabbit.
Here, ducky, 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 ducky.
Here, you cute little rabbit.
Oh, great. You scared him away.
I didn't scare him away. You scared him away.
You know, you might be right. Maybe it was a rabbit.
Thing is, now I'm actually thinking it was a duck.
Well, anyway, now what would you like to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Hey, look, there's an anteater.
No, that's not an anteater. That's a brachiosaurus.
The end. So I love this story because it reminds me that how we see things are influenced by our own past experiences and how our brain interprets things. You know, there's no right or wrong in this book. It could be a rabbit or a duck, and no one really knows for sure because we all see things through our own lens. But what I really love about this book is that both people start to see the picture from the other person's perspective. That is what keeping an open mind means to me. So now I invite any children and youth here to join their teachers in the classrooms to explore hope and trust. And if you're new here, just follow me. Thank you.
you, Melvin. Thank you so much, especially on short notice, being able to be here with us. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. So, it's with a heavy heart. Every morning, every Sunday morning before I get in the pulpit, I open up the New York Times online app to see if there's any news. And sadly, I knew I was going to say something about the Brown shooting that killed 2 at Brown University yesterday, and then I opened up the paper today, especially hard considering it is Hanukkah. And in Sydney, Australia, a Hanukkah celebration was shot on and 11 Jewish people were killed this morning. And so I just invite to remember why this holiday as well is celebrated, and why Jewish people feel so much threat, because throughout history this has been our experience. And so I share these words from Rabbi Menachem Creditor. Spirit of life and love, we stand before you today, dazed, numb, befuddled, yearning for an understanding of why, how such events in the world can happen. Why do we live in a way that is contrary to what we know will lead to harmony? Why do we fear taking action? Why do we hold back with apathy? Why do we wait for yet one more violent occurrence and wring our hands and start the lamenting again and again, and then go back to our lives? Let us not become numb to life and death. Let us have the strength to face what numbs us, the strength to hear the screams, and the resolve to not let our vulnerability make us feel powerless in the name of those souls that we have lost. Let us comfort each other, be present with each other, but let us remember that we have a future. We can have a future that eliminates hatred, that eliminates violence. We can have a future where love is our doctrine, and we can dwell together in peace. Awake within us that spirit of life and love. Awaken our numb hearts and our busy minds, and awaken within us the courage to make a difference, to build a better life, a better family, a better community, a better world for all. May we remain awake. Amen. As we go into a time of silence, I ask you to contemplate how and what we can do to make this a less violent world. By the way, I'm Reverend J. Wolin, the settled minister here at the Unitarian Universalist of Sarasota, and we're going to take a bet about how long that candle will last. What is it you believe in complete certainty? Although I feel certain the New York Jets will not win the Super Bowl in the next decade, it is conceivably possible. I have heard people here say often that they like to be here, to be around like-minded people. I think, to be more accurate, I would say like-valued people. We often tend to disagree about tactics and processes and ideas about how to achieve our mission and vision. You know, we often talk about how to fix what is wrong or improve what is right. But the truth is, we can never be certain, right? What about our own existence? Do our perceptions deceive us as depicted? Has anybody seen the movie The Matrix? Maybe I should say, has anybody not seen the movie? Wow, okay. It is a cultural, iconic movie. I encourage you to see at least the first one. There are 4 of them, I believe. But basically, it talks about how all humans in the future are really just plugged into machines, but we experience our lives out in the world. And it made me think about the saying of the Chinese philosopher Zheng Zhu, who said, and I quote, "Once upon a time, I dreamt I was a butterfly fluttering hither and thither." That's not a phrase I use a lot. Hither and thither. To all intents and purposes, a butterfly. I was conscious only of my happiness as a butterfly, unaware that I was Zhu. Soon I awoke, and there I was, veritably myself again. Now, I do not know whether I was then a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or whether I am now a butterfly dreaming that I am a man, end quote. I do believe it is due to this lack of certainty, even of our most basic perceptions, as we saw with the duck and the bunny rabbit, that humans come together to try to understand our reality. And this, to me, is one of the purposes of religion, right? To come together, to understand where we come from, who we are, where we are going, what we should do. To come together to share the tragedies and horrors that we face in our lives, as well as share the beauty and wonder that we find in life, and maybe create some of that together. There's a wide diversity of religions. Even within religions, there is a wide diversity within those religions. So tonight, the Jewish people will celebrate the first day of Hanukkah. As I spoke a few years ago and informed this morning, this commemorates the Jewish victory led by the Maccabees to win their freedom in the 2nd century BCE from Syrian Greeks who ruled the land. Now, the instigating event that caused this uprising was the Syrians erecting a statue of Zeus in the Jewish temple. And they sacrificed pigs, which, of course, due to the kosher law, was anathema to Jews. Now, at the time, many Jewish people had assimilated into Greek culture and had adapted or reformed the laws of the Torah with more modern Greek ideas. But the Maccabees were fundamentalists who believed in following the laws of the Torah very strictly. Yet even they reformed the laws to how it met their needs. They changed the laws, not allowing them to fight on the Sabbath. According to the Jewish scriptures, a neighboring community followed that law, and the Greeks killed all of them on the Sabbath. So they changed the law to allow themselves to fight on the Sabbath. So there are varying degrees of fundamentalism, is my point, based on how it fits your community and your context. What often gets left out of the Hanukkah story is what happened after the victory. The descendants of the Maccabees, the Hasmoneans, did not restore religious freedom. They combined religious authority and political power for themselves. And once that happened, disagreement became disloyalty. Within a few generations, Jewish life fractured into camps that could no longer live with one another. Two brothers claimed legitimacy. Each believed only their way could preserve the faith, and compromise became betrayal. And when winning became more important than wisdom, the country fell into a civil war, and in their desperation to win, Rome was invited to intervene. Rome, of course, was happy to help, and Rome never left. I think about that today. I talked about this in the forum, how we as a society have become so divisive and unwilling to compromise. And that hardness, that unwillingness to work together, it will make us a weaker country. And I would say often orthodoxy is determined by reformers. In Judaism, there was no formal designation of orthodox until the 1800s, when a group of Jewish congregations formally separated as the Reform movement and created their own seminary. They announced their intentions to adapt the Jewish religion to a modern Enlightenment world. It was only at that time that a formal structure called Orthodox Judaism was formed. And I think it's very interesting. Of course, often reformers go way too far for everybody in their group. And at one major event, they served shrimp, which is shellfish, which is not allowed by kosher laws. And that forced a group of them then well, that's too far for us, so we're going to form the conservative movement somewhere in between Orthodox and Judaism. I spoke last week about the various different traditions in Christianity. And in early Christianity anyway, and in 325, in the Council of Nicaea, the Emperor Constantine gathered the bishops and they formalized the rules going forward, which became the Catholic Church. That was when the Trinity became the law of the Catholic Church. It also decided when Easter was, and many other issues. This led to violent suppressions of other forms of Christianity. In the 1500s, we had the Protestant Reformation, which saw itself as a reform of the Catholic Church. And then we saw denomination upon denomination form with different types of reform. Unitarian and Universalists, that was before we merged in 1961, were part of what was called the Radical Reformation. We have reformed, or I would say evolved personally, that due to our non-creedal position, we, and as well Christian organizations, do not consider us Christians, because we do not require the belief that Jesus was the Son of God and died for our sins. We don't require that. Today, and we haven't since at least Unitarian foundings, today and throughout history, we see as well the tensions within Islam between modernity and orthodox views being challenged. And this is true for almost all religions. So why do religions struggle so much with the need for certainty? There seems to be a fear that if we let go of certainty, everything will fall apart. That doubt will send us sliding down a slippery slope into moral relativism. But all of our experience, or I should say my experience, tells us that the certainty that we cling to is rarely as solid as we believe it to be. Sadly, the reason many religions cling to their certainty is because religion became more about power than about truth. Religion became more about control than about compassion. Like how can you even follow the religion of Jesus and his teachings and take away food for families and deport the stranger? Religion has become more about creating certainty than about how to live with uncertainty. And uncertainty is what existence is, to be quite frank. I believe that moral relativism happens much more often with certainty than with doubt. We just need to look at history and see how those who hold a moral certainty give no heed to those with differing opinions, and therefore do not acknowledge the need for moderation or principle. They have used their moral certainty to slaughter and oppress anyone who disagrees with them. And just because you have the power to kill and oppress others who disagree with you is not an argument to support your own moral certainty. It is just an argument about your power. Now, I remember one of my professors when I was in undergraduate college going at nights, and I answered one of his questions tentatively, and he said, "Jay, when you answer a question, answer it with confidence and authority. And if you do, 95% of the people will believe you without even questioning you." Now, my experience in the business world proved his axiom right, actually. But therein lies, I think, the fallacy of the argument, and to me, the beauty of Unitarian Universalism. My goal is not to get everybody to agree with me, my goal, or to believe in what I believe in. My goal is to share my wisdom, my knowledge, my experiences to help facilitate your decision making, to empower you as individuals and us as a congregation to move you to become your best selves. And if we all do this, then we can create an environment where doubt is not only acknowledged, but encouraged. Yes. For a person who accepts doubt must accept that they may not be right. They must accept that others may have wisdom that can help them. There is a common phrase that I heard in school growing up because I always asked questions. And I was told that I was a doubting Thomas. This was very confusing for me because my name was Jay. But I learned over time the source of this was from the Christian scriptures, from the Gospel of John. The disciple Thomas was not present when the other disciples witnessed the resurrected Jesus. And Thomas says, well, he will not believe until he sees it with his own eyes. I can understand that kind of thinking. I can. I would want to see with my own eyes something like that. And many believe the Gospel of John and John's trying to be dismissive to Thomas shows a fissure between disciples as to the teachings of Jesus. And there actually is a Gospel of Thomas that did not make it into the Christian scriptures. But even so, I'll preach on it at some point, but even so, even in John's version, Jesus doesn't condemn Thomas for doubting. For to doubt is to admit our vulnerability. To doubt is to admit our fallibility, to doubt, is to admit that life is uncertain. And in the book of Genesis, when God wants to destroy Sodom, Abraham's doubts leads him to question God itself. The story says God does not reject Abraham's doubts. In fact, it encourages them. It encourages Abraham to explore Sodom for himself, so Abraham can come to his own conclusion. And Abraham's doubts even had God rethink whether it should destroy Sodom. Doubts allow us to give ourselves pause, to think about ourselves, to think about our decisions that we are about to make and the actions that we are about to take. Doubt will force us to explore all of our options, but the real key to this is not to let doubt to render us inactive. And doubt, practiced wisely, doesn't paralyze us. It invites responsibility. Now I'm going to ask you to take a moment to ask yourself how important this congregation is in your life. And now I would like you to consider all of your options as to how much you would like to donate to our offering today. Please be as generous as you can. For those online or those here on your cell phone, there is a link to donate in the description of the YouTube channel or the QR code in your order of service. Let this sacred time begin.
Please join me in responsive reading number 650, Cherish Your Doubts. Cherish your doubts, for doubt is the attendant of truth.
Doubt is the key to the door of knowledge. It is the servant of discovery.
A belief which may not be questioned binds us to error, for there is incompleteness and imperfection in every belief.
Doubt is the touchstone of truth. It is an acid which eats away the false.
Let no one fear for the truth, that doubt may consume it, for doubt is a testing of belief.
The truth stands boldly and unafraid. It is not shaken by the testing.
For truth, if it be truth, arises from each testing stronger, more secure.
Those that would silence doubt are filled with fear. Their houses are built on shifting sands.
But those who fear not doubt and know its use are founded on rock.
They shall walk in the light of the Roman knowledge. The work of their hands shall endure.
Therefore, let us not fear doubt, but let us rejoice in its help.
It is wise as a staff to the blind. Doubt is the attendant of truth.
Once again, Melvin Jackson.
Thank you. And also thanks to Klaus for helping out with the readings in the service today. So, in regard to relativism and Unitarian Universalism, if we are fundamentalists about anything, it seems we are fundamentalists against any form of fundamentalism. I have heard the argument thrown against Unitarian Universalism that since we do not have a creed, that you can believe whatever you want to believe. Well, however, I would say that just because we don't have a creed, you cannot believe anything you want. Well, I take it that you can believe it, but how you act upon your beliefs is where we put some boundaries on. So I'll give you an example. When I speak to couples who I'm planning to officiate at their weddings, I always talk about how I'm very flexible. I want to make the service meaningful to them. But then I always put one caveat on that, is that I do not allow live animal sacrifices in our sanctuary. Now, you may think that's a low bar, okay? But animal sacrifices are a common ritual in some cultures, and it is one I choose not to honor in our sanctuary. And yes, we do not have to believe in or profess to some truth to belong here, but we do have covenants that we agree to as members and covenants that we agree to as a congregation. Our theology, our certainty is in our commitments and relationships with each other. Our willingness to stand with each other in our uncertainty, to challenge each other to reach our best selves, and to forgive each other when we fail, and to love each other through all of it. This is our theological legacy, a legacy of covenant and a legacy of love, a covenant of how we agree to be and act with each other so that we can create a non-judgmental environment where learning, creativity, and spiritual growth can occur. A place where, despite the uncertainty of the world, we choose to come together to explore ourselves, to explore the struggles of our times, and to explore the mysteries of the universe. And we can only do this if we have a common value of love. For if we are to accept our differences, if we are going to create a multi-generational and multicultural community known for advancing justice, where all persons can find belonging, spiritual growth, and support on life's journey, as that's our vision, then it will require the goodwill of all souls who enter here. Whether you are here for the first time or whether you've been here 40 years, we have much to learn from each other, and we ask ourselves to trust each other. Jewish theologian Martin Buber says that human beings become human by covenanting. It is the basis of our humanity that we are, and I quote, the promise-making, promise-keeping, promise-breaking, promise-renewing creatures, end quote. That is part of what makes us human. And although I may have my doubts about many, many things in this world, one thing I am certain of is that Unitarian Universalism is a religion that doesn't suppress uncertainty but embraces it. That this religion is a saving religion. And when we are alone, when we feel despair, when things seem hopeless, you can know that we are all in this together. And conversely, we raise each other up to see the light that is within each one of us, our very unique beings that we each are. And that allows us to experience a richness of life, a mind illuminated, the realization of the beauty in simple things. Hopefully more sounds of children laughing. This too, all of this, we can find together. As I mentioned the Gospel of Thomas earlier, I'd wish that its message had found the light of day sooner, for its message was that we should find the light within in order for us to be a light unto the world. And maybe its time has come. Like the Hanukkah candles symbolize, let us bring light into the world, into our world, and then into the world. Let the message of Unitarian Universalism be heard. Let it be heard far and wide so that all may experience its message. Maybe this is all a dream. Maybe I am just a sleeping butterfly, right? I am not certain, but I doubt it. But I had a really weird dream last night, so you never know. But even if it were so, I imagine that I am a manifestation of that butterfly, and it is in its world working to, as our mission says, connecting in loving community to nurture the spirit and help heal the world. Let us all be beautiful butterflies with that message, and let us fly with that message throughout our life. May it be so. Please rise and by the and/or spirit for our closing hymn, Light One Candle.
Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks that their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when their peace is not as at hand. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. Light one candle for those who are suffering, the pain that we learned long ago. Light one candle for the all we believe that anger will tear us apart. Light one candle to bring us together with peace and song in our heart. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. What is the memory that valued so highly? We keep it alive in that flame. What's the commitment to those who have died when we cry out they have died in vain? That we come to always believing that justice would somehow prevail. This is our burden, and this is our promise, and this is our we will not fail. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears.
Yeah, thank you. Our closing words are from the Reverend William Schultz. This is the mission of our faith, to teach the fragile art of hospitality, to revere both the critical mind and the generous heart, to prove that diversity need not mean divisiveness, and to witness to all that we must hold the whole world in our hands. And although now we are going to put the light out, please join me in our chalice extinguishment. We extinguish this flame, not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go forth, be compassionate, love, eat a lot of food. Thank you for being here.
Thank